Hello, welcome to Tabletop CP. Today we're going to hunt a nuke in the mean streets of Mursaka for another game of Spectre operations. Operation Downfall. Background. After months of missions and intelligence gathering, the Coalition forces have zeroed in on the location of the rogue nuke. Not willing to leave anything to chance, Padilla and his task force operators are ordered to neutralize the target and everyone associated with it. Situation. While advancing to the target building, Task Force Padilla hears heavy fighting coming from that direction. What the hell is going on up there? Soon enough, confirmation comes that an unknown force is occupying the target building and fighting off waves of enemies trying to recapture the building. It must be Shadow Spear, Padilla says, trying to regain their honor. No one disagrees. Meanwhile, at the target building, Stratton the Baba Yaga and two Shadow Spear operators, Cox and Beersford, desperately try to repulse Arbok counterattacks, determined to retake the prize. When he brought us here, didn't you have a plan to get out? Cox yells over the constant crash of automatic fire. I'm working on it, Stratton retorts. Mission. Stratton and the Shadow Spear operators must hold off the Arbok counterattack until Task Force Padilla can reach them. Once this happens, the nuke must make it off the table at all costs. If all else fails, Padilla can call in a missile strike on the target location in hopes of destroying the nuke. Roll a d6. On a 3+, the nuke is detonated. This building right here will be the target building, the location of the rogue nuke, and also the starting point for the Baba Yaga, as well as Cox and Beersford. Task Force Padilla will be coming in from any of the table edges on turn 4. Meanwhile, Arbok, it can use any of its squads. It has 3 different squads, each of a different level, which we'll see in a minute. And he can deploy one within 18 inches of the target building. And the other squads can come in as reinforcements once the initial squad or the squad before it is down to half men, or if they're have a lot of suppression or pinned out, they can come in earlier. Arbok's mission is simply to kill off Casey Stratton and these Shadow Spear boys and retake the nuke. If that happens before Task Force Padilla gets here, Task Force Padilla will still have a chance to come and retake it and get it off the board themselves. So the Baba Yaga and the 2 Shadow Spear guys have made it here. They've taken out all the enemies. They got in a little bit of deeper water than they anticipated, and they are now surrounded. And they're waiting for Padilla and his boys to come rescue them, even though Padilla and his boys really didn't even know that these guys were going to be here. Talk about the terrain real quick. First, we got 4 of our really nice black site studio buildings here. If you guys are looking for pre-painted, really nice, easy to put together kits that you can get playing on right away. Give black site a look. Great guys. Other than that, we have an orchard. This is going to be a 6-inch visibility. It's going to be -2 if you're shooting at anyone in it. The walls are all going to be high obstacles that are going to require a leg up. There are a few places such as dumpsters and piles of garbage and such that will be a place to make it a little bit easier to get over, but if you're trying to jump it, definitely going to take a leg up and an agility test. This fence here is going to be -3 to shoot through. This can be seen through, but only if you're within 2 inches of it. We have some small patches of grass as well. They come into play. They will be -1 if you're shooting at a target within the grass. Now let's go take a look at the forces. So begin with the good guys here. We have Coalition forces. So first up, we're going to start with the guys that are in the building. So we have Casey Stratton here. He's the Baba Yaga. He has all the cool rules. He's going to have body armor. He's also going to have a carbine with the red dot. We saw him last game. He's really good. He did die though, but he's really good, but he isn't impervious to gunfire. So he's going to be out here. He's going to have 2 guys with him. We're going to have Andrew Cox, this guy here, with the headband and the beard. We're also going to have Dan Beersford, and he's going to be the guy with the hat. So these guys are going to be operators. Shadow Spear operators are going to be fully kitted out, as all these operators are going to be with body armor, red dot, scope, frag, smoke, stun, 1 each. They're going to have a close combat weapon. They're going to have comms, just pretty much everything. Med kits. So yeah, all the standard operator stuff. That's both of these, all these operators, and these 4 as well. We're all going to have that. So that's our initial force. I forgot to mention that these 2 operators here, they cannot leave the compound, while Casey Stratton is able to leave the compound. So moving on, we have Padilla's Task Force Padilla. So we have Padilla here in the red. He's got a carbine, long range comms, and all the normal stuff. And then in the blue, we got John Baldwin. He's carrying an underbarrel grenade launcher. Next in the green we have Scott Driscoll, carbine. He's got auto shotgun breaching kit. Yellow we have Alan Downs. He's got a LMG M249. And then we have finally Nils Vesterman with the purple base. He has a carbine, but he also has an auto shotgun. And Padilla also has the access to the Hellfire missile, which will be the last resort, or it can be used pretty much any time really, but he does have that. And then back here with the heavy sniper rifle, we have Lieutenant Dan Klain and his loyal spotter, Sergeant Gump. The Arbok side. So we're starting off, we have 3 different groups of Arbok, 3 different skill levels: trained, professional, and operators, elites. The Arbok player can place any of these on the board that he wants in any order. The only rule is that the force has to either be at half effect, or lost half their men, or if we deem them to become somewhat combat ineffective, then we'll bring in the next wave. And they can come in from any board edge as well. So we have a group of 8 trained Arbok grunts. The leader has an underbarrel grenade launcher. We have 2 LMGs. The rest are going to be carbines. Each of these guys is equipped with a body armor and a red dot, and the leader has 1 frag grenade. Meanwhile, the professional Arbok, with the guys with the red berets, we have a leader. We have 2 LMGs. The rest are going to be carbines, and they have the same thing: body armor, red dot with a frag on the leader. Finally, we have the Arbok operators, led by Wild Bill Thompson with the red base, armed with carbine. We have Harry Elston with the blue base. He's armed with an LMG. Yellow base. I got 2 green bases, but this guy here is going to be yellow base. That is Luke Lankowski. He is armed with a carbine. Then finally we have Kevin Green with the green base, and he's armed with an underbarreled grenade launcher. And they also have 1 heavy technical with a 50 caliber machine gun on it that they can bring in with any of these groups that they like. And it's going to have a trained crew and trained gunner. And that's it. That's the forces. That's the terrain. That's the mission deployment. We'll go ahead and get started. Andre's here. He's been briefed. He's placed his first unit, which is the trained grunts. He's broken them up into 2 4-man squads or teams. Machine gun in each. Grenade launcher with the sergeant over there. Meanwhile, I put Stratton, the Baba Yaga, on the bottom floor, and I put the 2 operators on the top floor, just kind of facing out, but not in there yet. And that's it. So I guess we will start by rolling for initiative. Against 6. All right. So we got.
I'll let you have the initiative.
Okay. Command phase. I have no commands. Oh, here comes the Overwatch. Okay. And now movement and tactical phase. I just moved Stratton out. He's just under here. And then Andre moved, combat sprinted both of his units up into the orchard here. And we move on to the turn 2.
Hey.
Okay, I got it again. So I guess you want to go back on Overwatch. Okay. I don't really have any commands, so we'll go ahead and move on to the movement phase. I've moved, so he went on Overwatch. I did move everyone up. Everyone moved tactically, so Stratton, Cox, and Beersford both going to be getting -2 to hit. He's going to fire his Overwatch and another -1, so we have -3 from 4. He'll be at a 1. I'm at a 3, +1 for moving tactically. So 4 against 1.
Can you throw a grenade on Overwatch?
No. Do you want to rapid fire? Oh, no, you can't. Never mind, it's Overwatch.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll get the dice together. Go ahead. Well, the grenade has to roll separate. It has to roll to see if it like scatters and all that. So we'll do that one after. So with the squad on the far side over there. Okay, so I can't possibly lose to those.
Nothing happening.
Okay, roll your grenade. So I guess you're going to just try to hit it up here somewhere.
Yeah, just.
Okay. So roll your scatter. D6.
D6 scatter.
Yep. Hope it doesn't
I don't
bounce
get,
right
I
back
don't
on
get to
me.
roll to see if it hits.
Well, you got to get an 8. You're at a 1.
Oh.
How you gonna? You can't possibly match that. So it's gonna go kind of
4 inches.
right in here.
That way.
So it'll be kind of out here somewhere. So it just kind of blew up over here. So that was that squad. This squad here, are you going to fire at Cox or are you going to fire at Stratton? Okay. Firing again.
Hey.
So there's one possible there. I'm a 4. Oh no, there isn't, because I can just roll a 1 and tie you.
Okay. All independent teams.
Yeah, so we did take 4 suppression each, but their command is 5, so they don't have to worry about it. Now we're just going to shoot back. Beersford has double tapped the squad leader. With all his bonuses, he's at a 9 already just to hit, so that's auto with a 2 defense.
I automatically rolled a 6 and lost.
And then I'm going to do the same thing with Cox, but I'm going to shoot. Actually, that was two shots there. I'll shoot at them one more time with the double tap just to make you do a test. So it's going to be the same thing, 8s. And then I'll do the same thing. I'll just fire at the M249 there and take him out. And take a command test. Need to roll low. I don't think that's going to get it done. This team is now suppressed. Now Stratton is going to fire his carbine into this squad here. We're going to try to hit the guy with the, or try. It's probably going to be the same. Well, you're going to be at -2 for being in here, so that might make a difference. But I'm going to target the guy with the rocket launcher. So I'm going to 5 now into the orchard. And I'm going to hit that guy there. So that's an 8. You can't beat that one, but you could beat that one.
I
no.
tied it.
No, you didn't. So he's hit twice. That means he goes down. They take 2 suppression, but that's not enough. Or is it? So they are at command of 2 now since their sergeant's dead. So you do have to do a command test, which you fail. So now both of these units in Orchard are suppressed. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah. No, you already shot all your Overwatch. You can't shoot in Overwatch and in normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. So that's just the end of the turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so we move on to the next turn. Andre is thinking about pulling these guys out, but I'm going to make him go one more turn.
Travis is telling me they're not combat ineffective yet.
They will be at the end of. You can bring someone in at the start of next turn. How about that? Okay, so command phase. You're probably going to want to try to rally these guys. Command phase, you could not rally, and I did put Beersford and Cox on Overwatch. And movement phase. So Stratton out. Andre's going to try to charge me, but I'm going to fire my Overwatch as soon as he gets to, well, as soon as he starts moving. So 1 each. I'm still going to put both of them. Which squad has more guys? This one?
This one.
Yeah, we'll put both of them into those guys there. So it's going to be -1. I didn't move. I'm at a 6. I'm at a 5. Back to a 6. 7. Because I'm elevated and didn't move. So 7 against your 2.
So
the first
you're
guy
rolling an 8 and
Cox.
I can tie that.
Oh,
Ooh, a 6 will tie it. Come on, baby. Oh.
6 will tie. Not quite. So that's 1 hit. So I got to roll a lethality now. 4+, 5+, because you're wearing body armor. Oh no, he's just hit. See if he's incapacitated. No, he's just wounded.
Okay.
So now Beersford will do the other guy. I don't think you can beat that.
No.
Okay, lethality check.
I can only tie a 1.
Ah, man. See if he's incapacitated.
No.
Just 2 wounds.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to mean that you're. So
Okay.
first thing they have to do before we figure out, because they are stunned. That's the least possible result on the damage table. So let's see if you fail a check again. You do.
Of course.
So they're going to go to pinned, which means I think they're probably going to stop right there. Hit the deck. This is kind of a weird situation because on the way in, well, we'll just let you come in.
You sure? I mean, if
Stats of 1, you're flying in blind, man. So
yeah, but I'm giving pluses to my other dudes.
Okay. Well, I'll fight them first.
Well, no, I'm doing this all. It was a simultaneous assault.
Oh, then I should have fired into those other guys. I thought you were coming in with those guys first. That's why I fired at them instead of those guys. I forget it. Just bring them in. You're not going to take me down. So here we go. It looks like, from what I'm computing, these guys are almost equal to him now. Because they charged. They got +1 for that. They started at 4. 5 for charging, and I think it's +1 for each guy. We're going to say they don't add anything just because they're stunned and wounded.
Staggering in and...
So technically, I'm a 6. I got the close combat, specialist close combat weapon for a +2, so I'm at an 8.
Against my 7s.
Yep.
Wow.
So
I roll 3 guys
okay.
to start with? Or are there any minuses for the wounded guys attacking in close combat?
Well, they're all at 1, so their stats all drop to 1.
Okay. So the 3 healthy dudes.
Okay. All right, so 2 4s. Come on, baby.
Yeah, come on, baby.
What are we doing here?
You're rolling low.
Oh. So both.
That's a tie.
A tie, so yeah.
So who wins ties?
So we forgot Baba Yaga. Or there's a rule that, first of all, we roll again. Let's just do that real quick. But he actually gets to do some shooting because he has a sidearm. A 6.
And a
5.
Well, if you rolled a 6, it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right, so I did win both of those. Wait, didn't you have 3 guys here?
Yeah.
So I got to
roll a 1.
I got to roll another one then for him.
No, you don't.
Oh. So kill. And then these guys are at a 1, so they can't possibly beat my 8. So they're just going to be dead. So Stratton has just laid waste to the train squad. So there we go.
I want to shoot.
The squad is now...
My guy on the ground is going to look up and fire off 1 shot.
You missed. We've agreed they're combat ineffective. So now it is turn 4, which means Andre is going to be bringing another squad in, and so am I.
You sure that's 4?
Yep.
I think you spun the dice 1 extra time.
You think?
Because I've moved
only
up.
turn 3. Sorry about that. But Andre does get to bring another squad in, so he still has his trains or his professional squad and his operators for initiative. Well, I guess it depends on who you're bringing in.
Not the operators. So.
Okay, so I have the initiative. I put both these guys, Cox and Beersford, back on Overwatch, and Stratton has gone back into the building, and now Andre's going to move on with his professionals. Andre's come in from this board edge, so I didn't mention this, but we did add a rule that you can't come in on the same board edge that the last set of reinforcements came in, just so I couldn't come in right behind with Task Force Padilla and just blast them.
I was trying to come in from multiple board edges, but Travis reminded me of that rule and how unkind and unfair I was being.
You got the initiative.
Wow.
I don't know if that actually helps you in this moment or not, but maybe. So it's command phase. Do you have any commands? Or are you going to advance?
I don't believe so.
Okay, and I don't either, so we move on to movement and tactical. Andre's just moved this team around this way. So having the initiative in this turn actually did hurt him a little bit because he had to move first, which means that I have to move next. But if I do move there, you can shoot me now on our shooting phase. So it's important to have guys looking every direction. So now
I'm just not used to having the initiative. It's
especially against Baba Yaga. Andre's already went over your movement. So I wound up moving my operators on. This was turn 4. So I have Padilla, Driscoll, and Vesterman over here. And then I have, what do we got here? Downs and Baldwin. So the underbarrel grenade launcher, the M249, and the carbines and the shotguns. Meanwhile, Stratton got out, and that's it. Next turn.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah.
Alright, so we got the initiative again, which means Andre's going to go on Overwatch with everything, probably.
Yep.
Before we roll for initiative, or we just roll, I'm sorry, I'm all messed up. It's been a long day. I forgot also that for the objective, that I have to get the nuke off the board. I actually have to be outside of the perimeter of the fence. I can't just run through the orchard and out. I got to leave the compound to get the nuke off the board. So Andre's added all his Overwatch. I'm not going to do any Overwatch. I'm just going to move, so we'll do movement. Andre's going to fire with the carbine on each end. So we'll say this guy over at Beersford. So he's at a 5 minus 1 for the Overwatch, minus 2. So you're at, what I say, 2s against my 4s. So that's a 7.
7. Ooh, you tied it.
Okay, we're good. And then this guy will shoot at Cox in the window here. Uh-oh. Cox might be hit.
He is.
Is he hit?
Yep.
Oh man. All right, roll lethality check.
Lethality. 3.
No, it's a wound. So he's just a wound. Let's see what happens. D6. Oh no. Catastrophic wound.
Ouch.
The model is instantly unconscious, is incapacitated, and begins to bleed out. He will die in 3 turns.
Well, that gives you something to think about.
Don't care. All I care about is getting the nuke out of here.
Oh, man.
Sorry, Cox.
You guys are a bloodthirsty lot.
No, we'll get him. We'll get him. We're going to fire at your rocket launcher guy, I guess.
Okay.
Actually, no. So we're going to fire at the machine gun, actually.
Okay.
So it's my 5 against your 2. So an 8. You need a 6. Nice hit. See if he goes down. He's got body armor. Yeah, he's dead. So this machine gunner has been killed. And then you have one machine gunner that can fire back. Because he did not fire on Overwatch.
This is true.
Okay, so 3s against 4s. You get 3 shots.
2, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4. Okay, so...
So you can't lose to the 2.
I can't lose to anything. I'm at a defense 4 right now because I moved tactically up there. So I started a 4. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. That's adding tiers. I'm sorry. So the 4.
Yep.
3.
Good. That's a tie.
So we're
You're good.
Yep, and then we don't care about the shock. So, and then Stratton, he's over here somewhere. He is going to fire. You can see this guy in the end here. Just 5. You probably can't beat that because I'm at well, it's a -3 for the fence, so it's you do have a chance. Probably not even.
Not that good of a chance.
So I hit him. So now I got to kill him though. He's wearing body armor. Yeah, he's down. 2 dead. And you've taken only 2, not enough to have to test. So move on to initiative. I get it. So you're only at a 5, I'm at a 6 with Baba Yaga. Commands either way. Now it is movement phase, and I have the initiative. I forgot to move these guys again. I'll do that after this. But first I moved Beersford over. We're going to see if we can stop the bleeding on Cox with our trauma kit. Oop, shit. Yes, we do. Bleeding stopped.
Yay.
All right, Cox, you're going to be all right, maybe. You're still in a war here.
That's a hell of a speech you're giving there.
So Baldwin and Downs are out here. That means Padilla, Driscoll, and Vesterman are in the building, and we've reached the nuke, and we've started securing it. We have to pass a command test next turn in order to fully secure it, to be able to move it the turn after that. So it is your movement phase, Andre. Okay. Andre's brought his technical in over there, 24 inches on the road. Meanwhile, these guys have moved into the courtyard. All those Strattons come out in tactical. And then Downs and Baldwin have moved up to this hole in the fence. And the rest of the squad is inside. And then these guys have shifted this way. Now it is combat phase. Start off with Stratton. He's going to do his pistol master. He has 2 shots. So he's within first range band for this guy. So it'll be 6 against 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hit. See if we bring him down. I think I need a 5. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's down. So this guy is down. Meanwhile, the other one's going to go on to the sergeant, but I'm a second range interval, so a 5, an 8.
Ooh.
Yeah, you
An
tie
8.
it. You make it. Okay, now I got these 2 guys here, Baldwin and Downs. Downs will fire his machine gun at your leader. All 3 shots.
Okay.
So I'm going to have Downs and his M249 fire at the squad leader of the Arbok Professionals at 6 with all modifiers. Okay, so that's a 10. That's a 9. That's a 7. Where are you starting?
With the 7.
It's
That's
still a fail.
That
That might be a tie, actually.
No, that's a 9, right?
Yep.
So
That's
the
a fail,
highest I
too.
could get was 8.
Yep. So that's 2 hits. He's down.
3 hits.
3 hits. Squad leader with the frag grenade. Important note there. He's down.
I wasn't even dreaming of throwing that
And
frag.
we'll rapid fire into this guy. So again, it's going to be back to 6s. I don't think you can beat either of those.
Yeah.
So it's just a dead dude. Hit twice. Alright, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shock you've taken here so far. So you're going to have to take quite a few tests. Let's see what professional soldier's command is. 3.
So 2
tests. Yep. He makes 1 and he fails 1, so this guy is going to be suppressed. And I'm done shooting.
Okay.
So you're shooting phase. He's going to fire 1 shot, aim shot. You're down to a, what did I say you were? A 2.
2.
And I'm a 3.
Ooh.
Oh, a 7. Oh man, I need a 4+ here. Or one of these guys might be hit.
Oh,
He is hit. Alright, see if you take him down. No, another wound. So let's roll on the wound table again. That's probably a light wound. So Baldwin is stunned for 2 turns and suffers a -2 to his move and something else for the rest of the game. And I think that's it. There's not, you don't have line of sight. What machine gun?
The one up on the fence.
This one?
Yeah.
What's he going to shoot at?
Baba Yaga.
Oh, you can see him from there?
He's perfectly lined up.
Alright, here we go. So you're going to be hitting on just normal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I forgot. I got to do my evade move first. First, try to evade those shots. Pass an agility test. I just outright evade everything. Pff, no problem. They all whistle by. I just did a barrel roll. Landed on my shoulder.
What was
rolled
I
back.
thinking?
Initiative.
Yeah. And
Okay, I still got it.
that,
I got a 6. You lost your
because
leader.
my sergeant's...
Yeah, he's down. So I'm going to see if I can pass a command check with Padilla to secure the nuke. No, shit. They don't secure the nuke. They're still in there fumbling around with it. Okay, do you have any commands?
I'll try and pull my suppression.
Okay. No. Alright, I think I'm going to put some guys on Overwatch. I forgot that I have Klein and Gump over there in that building. Actually, I'm just going to shoot at them.
Okay.
I need to shoot. This might be the only chance I get. So Klein is going to fire off his heavy sniper rifle here. I don't think I can miss. I'm like a plus... Man, so I'm at an 8. A 9. That's a 10. You can't possibly match that.
Okay.
But let's do a lethality check. Yeah, he's toast. So Klein has smoked this dude. Cox is back up. He's still seriously wounded and he's negative on movement and stuff for the rest of the game. But he is mobile now and his bleeding stopped. Beersford's moved up to this window. And I had Driscoll move over to this window. Vesterman moved up to the door. Padilla's still fumbling around with the nuke. I put this Downs on Overwatch. And if that truck tries to drive by, we're going to try and pop the driver.
Guess what the truck is about to do?
He's going to try to drive by.
Yeah.
Okay. Ray is going to try to drive the truck past. Downs is going to see if he can snipe out the driver as he goes by. So it's going to be 4 against 3. My 4 against your 3. Uh-oh.
Oh!
So it's a hit.
Really?
Yeah. So I'll do a lethality check, see if we take him down. No, he's not dead. But something might happen. I'm actually going to change. I'm going to have... Downs is actually going to shoot at the truck itself, not the driver. We do have the armor value of 5, or armor pen of 5 with the carbine. Andre's armor is a 4 as a technical, which means I can do it. So I'm going to roll a d6 and add 1 since I beat him by 1. A 7. Mobility kill. A vital part of the vehicle is hit. The vehicle moves d6 in a random direction and is then immobilized. Roll a d6 and roll a 3+ vehicle rolls onto its side and his weapons and equipment can no longer be used.
Each passenger and crew member suffers a lethality 4 hit. So let me roll those two guys. Need lethality 4. One guy dies. We'll see which one it is. High as the gunner. So the driver is killed in the crash. We'll see what happens. The truck has flipped over. Driver's killed, and we're going to say that the gunner is either dead, incapacitated, or ran off. So Downs has downed the truck. Nicely done, Alan. These two guys have moved this direction. Okay. And is that it?
How many guys do you think I've got?
Now Lieutenant Dan, he's firing through that hole right there. He's going to hit, or try to hit this guy.
Two, I can't save. You can roll a 9, I can roll an 8.
Right. Okay, so then there's an automatic hit. Let's see if I can... Now, hold on a minute. I'm going to try for a headshot with Lieutenant Dan on this guy to -2. So I go from an 8 to a 6 now.
Yep.
So you could beat it.
Oh, that just improved my odds infinitely.
So I got a 9, a 6, because I went from an 8 to a 6, so
Yeah.
9.
And
so
I can't roll a 9.
So his headshot, splat. Lieutenant Dan took that dude down. Meanwhile, we'll have, who is that, Beersford? Fire down at this guy on the fence. I'm going to rapid fire Beersford. So I got 4s against your 2s. 7 and an 8. Toast.
I'm hot tonight.
Well-oiled machine tonight, the operators. Technically, Andre could have brought in his troops, his operators at last turn because he had lost half of his men. But he'll definitely be bringing them in this turn. But I'm still looking to disarm the nuke. So that's it. You have no one left to shoot. I have no targets left. So let's roll for initiative. 2 and 3. I'm at a 6. You're at a 5 because you have a elite sergeant.
You're at a 6. Okay, you got it.
All right, so I have the initiative again. So Andre is going to be coming on. So I came in on this table edge, so Andre can't come in here, but he can come in here. And I will be able to move Baldwin this turn, although with reduced movement. Movement-wise, I moved Beersford back. The wounded Cox has moved downstairs with the rest of the guys, so I have Cox, and he's going to try to help Padilla disarm the bomb. I still have Driscoll and Festerman in the windows facing out this way. And I've moved the other two guys here, Downs and Baldwin, around this way. Stratton's moved back over there. And that's it for my movement. Andre now has to bring his operators on. The operators, we got Thompson in the red, Elsden in the blue. In the yellow we got Lankowski. In the green we got Green. Easy to remember that one. But anyway, they came in through this. They're going to come in tactically, I believe, right? 5 inches. So they're going to get +1 on their defense. And they're going to fire at Stratton.
If they're still there.
Well, I can only target one guy. That's the problem. So who do I want to take out? Who's the big hitter here?
Well, don't take out Green. He's the only one I can keep the name straight on.
I'm guessing Elsden. Yeah, I better fire at the guy with the grenade launcher, Kevin Green. Alright, so it's my shooting phase. The only person I have that has any line of sight to anything is Stratton. And we're going to fire on Kevin Green.
Oh, sure.
With our sniper.
I told you not to do that.
I mean, not sniper, with our carbine. Do I want to rapid fire? I'm going to take one aim shot. I'm at a 7. Andre's at a 4 with a tactical operator. So 7... 11.
Come on.
He's hit. Kevin Green is hit by the Baba Yaga. Let's see if we take him down on a 5+ because of the body armor. Boom.
Oh, Kevin.
Kevin Green, you're down, my friend. But you get to shoot back now.
Okay.
I get to do a lot of evading. Lankowski's going to dunk a grenade over the wall there. 5. Probably should do it. You're at -2. Which brings you down to what, a 4? Yeah, I think you still made it. Alright, well, where were you landing it? Perfectly right in between them?
Right on those two guys.
Which I don't even think you would know they were here since they moved before you even got on the board.
We've been watching.
Yeah.
They just squeaked through right before we came in.
I wanted to throw a grenade, but Andre said I couldn't.
Because I thought of it first.
And then I said, well, then if that's the case, you don't know I'm here. But then you threw the grenade anyway.
It seemed like a good place to throw a grenade.
All right, so shooting. He's going to fire with the machine gun. So let me do my evading with the machine gun. Stratton evading. We pass. And then you got 1 or 2 shots with the leader.
1.
We pass. So Stratton just evades everything. And that's it. So he's killed. Sadly, he's wiped out Downs and Baldwin with a frag grenade. But next phase. So let's see who gets the initiative. So I get the initiative again.
I'm good at rolling ones tonight.
We want revenge. Command phase. Andre has used. He's used Wild Bill to call in the 20mm cannon on the helicopter. So I'm going to close my eyes, Andre. You point to where you're picked to come in.
What?
And you hold the...
It's almost like he doesn't believe me.
All right, I'll close my eyes.
Okay, eyes are closed.
Yeah.
And that's where it's coming in, and that's what I rolled.
So
Okay.
D2 turns, it'll come in for after this one. All
You
right.
can open your eyes.
All right, thank you.
All right. It's on video.
Okay, I have no commands. Because I'm going to start... Oh, no, I do have a command. I got to see if I can secure the nuke.
What a good idea.
Let's secure the nuke again. Padilla, come on, man. Now I'm going to have to fight. I was thinking about just running off. All right, so movement phase. Andre sprinted the rest of his men around this way. Driscoll, he came out... I don't know if I covered that, but he came out tactically. He's going to throw a grenade. We saw him run this way, so we're going to get -2 for the no line of sight. We get -1 for the extreme range, so just right at the exact max range of a frag grenade. So Driscoll's going to try to land one right in between Thompson and Elsden. Needing a 5 to stick it. Nope.
I'm actually surprised you didn't get that.
Let's see where it goes. Come on.
Oh, sure, towards the civilian.
Yeah, the civilian. You're standing in a bad spot, bro.
You're a bad man.
Oh man, a 1-inch scatter. Ooh, that's not going to be good. It did scatter just a little bit, but they are out of the 1-inch instant kill, but they are within the blast radius. 4 +1 for the vests. So we'll start over here with Wild Bill. He's dead. Elsden, he's not dead. Let's see what happens to him. Oh man, he's going to be like severely incapacitated.
That's, yeah.
4. Serious wound. The model is injured and begins to bleed out and will be dead in 5 turns.
5 turns, that's a long time.
Plus he is stunned for 2 turns and all his movements reduced by 2, his shooting by 2, everything.
What about his grenade throwing?
-2. So that's that. They've lost their leader. Wild Bill is down. Meanwhile, Elsden is seriously wounded, bleeding out.
I still got a man.
And there's 1 man left in the Arbok, and that is Lankowski, who is there. So let's roll for... Okay, I got the initiative again.
Another 1.
He did put Lankowski on Overwatch. And Padilla is going to try to disarm the bomb for the 3rd time. Yeah,
Hey!
we got it disarmed. We're stabilized to move. Finally, it only took 3 turns, but he must have fell asleep in the class that day.
Well, who's ever going to have to disarm a nuke?
If you're an operator, you never know. That might ask you to do. So I did move Stratton out. He's going to take a shot with Lankowski. Let me see if I can evade. I do.
Okay.
Baba Yaga. And rest of the movement phase. Moved out. So I had all these boys here move out. Cox, Vesterman, and Padilla. Padilla now has the device in that bag there. They're going to try to get off the board. Meanwhile, we got 1 guy stunned. Lankowski's about to get double tapped by Stratton. Driscoll's moved up here to cover the hole just in case someone decides to try to run around. And your movement phase, Andre. Beersford is going to throw his frag right there. You can just see it. So anything but, and I nail it. Ah, got it.
Alright.
So they're dead.
Okay, now my shooting.
So that's probably the game. So I've offered Andre.
I'm going to do my shooting.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so the cannon is coming in right on that spot.
Cannon. All right. So it deviates D3 inches.
Okay, I'll deviate at 3 inches right here.
Okay. And I will evade. Because I hear the rounds coming, so go ahead and see where it lands.
So what do am I rolling a scattered die and a 6-sider?
Yep. The first one landed there. So roll D6, a scatter dice to see where the second template lands. So it lands right there. So the next one, no, you gotta roll the scatter.
But I got a 6.
Okay, so they're all gonna land over here.
Pow, 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 pow.
And I'm gonna evade anyway. Yeah, we still evade. So Stratton dives out of the way. The 20 millimeter shell's pounding the area. And that'll do it for this one. These guys are obviously going to get off the table. We've secured the nuke. We've had overwhelming force in this game. And we'll come back and wrap it up. Back to wrap it up. We've completed the mission. I think mainly because we didn't put it in the hands of Shadow Spear. They were here. Cox got wounded. Baldwin got wounded and killed, as well as Downs, but the entire Arbok force was annihilated. We got close with the 20 mil cannon to hitting Stratton, but he dodged out of the way.
Well, we got close to him with those dudes, the train guys, too.
That's true. Yeah, that combat was epic. All those dead dudes there. He was just doing roundhouse kicks.
Well, that's how he does it, but that was pretty much the closest it was like, well, I don't think these guys can do any damage, but if they do, this would that would have been something.
I was very surprised how close the score was.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I got an 8, and then we add it all up, and it's like you're at a 7. I'm like, holy crap. This is too close to a fair fight, as Andre likes to say.
Yeah.
I like it, especially when you got 3 on 1. But Baba Yaga took him down. He went on to cause havoc all over the place. So he's just really good. Yeah, this was an easier one for the good guys, I'll have to admit, but they needed a nuke.
Well, they went in with overwhelming force because they needed.
Yeah, we should have.
Win.
I almost thought about bringing in the 10th Mountain on top of these guys just to make sure that we won. we caught Arbok kind of in a, they're switching between shifts, and then Stratton and Cox and Beersford charged in unannounced, took over the building, got in over their head. They got counterattack. So they've been here fighting off counterattacks, and then we kind of picked up with your counterattack. And then these guys were actually moving towards this building anyway, heard all the shooting. They didn't know even these guys were even there.
Oh, wow.
They were just like, what the hell's going on up there? But their mission was to get here. So the plan was, even if you did somehow kill Baba Yaga and Beersford and Cox, I still had the entire Task Force Padilla to come in and get there and secure the nuke.
Yeah.
Maybe probably should let you have 2 squads on at a time would give you a lot better chance. Obviously, maybe almost too powerful. If you had the professionals and the operators on together,
yeah,
that would have made it real tough. I would have had to been kind of down inside the compound, covering all the entrances, just waiting, and then when I got the thing rushed out, hopefully I can clear it. Lieutenant Dan did a good job over there in his little hiding spot.
When he remembered to fire.
Him and Gump were arguing about something. Shrimp. Shrimp gumbo.
Shrimp scampi.
Garlic shrimp.
Sauteed shrimp.
Oh wait, are we supposed to be doing something?
Breaded shrimp.
So anyway, yeah, good job for Lieutenant Dan. Good job, everyone. I'm sad these guys got killed. But I mean, it's a dangerous operation. We've lost 2 men, 2 wounded.
And honestly, I mean, I was going in, I wasn't trying to survive this. I was going in trying to take it down and do as much havoc as I could.
No, you were being very aggressive tonight, Andre. I agree with you there. Normal Andre mode would have been maybe line up, get some guys up here to provide covering fire, try to set up a big thing. But tonight, Andre just came straight in. I was quite surprised by that.
Well, it was really the scenario kind of demanded it.
Yeah, because the only way to get your next squad would be, actually what we could have done, probably we could say, if you get down to half, you bring in the next guys, but you leave the half squad. So you're still having maybe 1 or 2 half squads running around. That's the way
Or
we should have done it.
or just have them come in like
Of course, we never had a chance to do that because they all died.
Yeah,
You never got down to half. Well, briefly you did get down to half. We forgot about it that one moment.
yeah.
But yeah, at that point you could have had half a squad. You could have hid, and then brought in your operators.
If I'd have had staggered arrival, so maybe trained professional operators, they come in that order every 2 turns.
That's too much.
It's
be too
6
fast.
turns before they hit the operators hit the board.
4 turns. They came out on turn 4.
Well, no, I'm saying if we staggered it every 2 turns,
Oh,
that
Yeah.
would put you on a clock more than and would have given me a lot more options. I could have tried to catch you on the way out versus trying to storm the place, which wasn't going to happen.
yeah. But that was the scenario. They were repelling counterattacks, and you just continued that, and Arbok didn't do well today, so...
Yeah, and I was my rolling was pretty
Oh, it was bad,
phenomenally
yeah.
crappy.
It was bad. But yeah, it was a good game. We got the nuke finally, so we can put that one to bed. So we're gonna have to start up a new something new here. Still gonna be Middle East because I don't have any other. I was thinking actually about using these models, but using the just the European buildings and fighting in Eastern Europe or something.
Well, or we could. You got some new terrain toys with the hills. We might be able to do something.
Yeah.
Canyon lands, Badlands.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I guess from now on for a little while. I mean, this has been a, air quotes campaign. Not really. A true campaign, you know what's going to happen at the end based on the result.
Yeah.
This is more like whatever happens, that's leads to what the next game is.
This is just a
It's just a-
continuing storyline.
It's just a bunch of linked games that are kind of loosely based on the previous game. It's not a true campaign. I call it that, but it's not really. So anyway, that's the
But
end
it was
of.
a kick in the butt anyhow.
That's the end of this campaign. We'll stay in Dubalah for now, but like Andre said, we're gonna maybe move out into the wildlands of Dubalah and do some fighting. Maybe we'll wind up in Belarus or something. There's still that chemical weapon that you guys flew out that night. Remember when you killed Stratton with the map out of the helicopter? Yeah. Or no, was it Stratton that you? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, he ran right up to the helicopter. You're about to take off, and then the guy in the helicopter, like,
Yeah.
cut his throat with the map. The
The guy holding the map.
the
took him
random,
out.
most random thing at the last second. So those chemical weapons actually got out on the helicopter that day.
Wow.
Who knows? Those might find their way into Eastern Europe somewhere. A village, a small Eastern European village, kind of
Or maybe
nondescript.
we'll actually use the triumph. We should have deployed them here.
Who?
Take the building out. Chemical weapons.
Yeah. Chemical weapon grenade. All right, everyone, wear your gas masks. Mop 4. So, anyway, that's it for the nuke. We've got the nuke. Force Padilla is the hero. Shadow Spear. We won't talk about their performance in this campaign. They did not do well. Arbok did okay, except for this game, but the odds were stacked against them in this one, so I'm not going to hold that against them. But other than that, I think they've won almost every game that they've
Pretty
played in.
much, yeah.
So they're solid. Shadow Spear needs help. Stratton's solid. Task Force Padilla, of course, solid. And the militia, they're militia. Yeah. You get what you pay for with them. And that's it. So yeah, thanks for watching this one. Who knows where we'll go next? If you guys got ideas for maybe scenarios or whatever, and you want to send them over, and we'll take a look at them. If you know what we have, if you know what kind of models we have, terrain, and you want to kind of base them around that would be even better. Then I wouldn't have to do it. Yeah, so anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Usual, check out our Facebook page, our Facebook group, I should say. We have a page as well, but there's not much there. The group was where everything happens. We got a bunch of cool people there, friendly hobbyists who are sharing and insightful in their hobby knowledge, and encouraging, and just funny and good guys and girls. And then of course we got our Patreon page, which tomorrow we're doing a new Patreon video, or I'm going to be doing a Sunday. I don't know if you're around Sunday. I didn't want to volunteer you, but we're supposed to be doing Casey's new game, Battle Force. He's going to be with us on the live stream, talking us through. We're going to do a playthrough for the patrons.
Okay.
But we do stuff like that on the Patreon page. We're running a campaign for Chain of Command. We got one game left of that, the Comp Group Von Luke campaign. And then we just do other videos there too. And there's other stuff, so if you're interested, check it out. If not, no biggie. And with that, we're going to sign off. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.